whenever you're ready, Coach.
Okay. We didn't play good enough to win. You have to give credit to Tennessee. They made plays. They were physical. They put us in a lot of space with their run game, and the dual threat quarterback put a lot of pressure on us and put a lot to the perimeter and made big plays, explosive runs. And it's hard to win when you do that. I thought our offense did the same. We had a lot of quality runs, obviously, when you rush for that many yards. The difference is in the red zone. They capped it off with touchdowns. We capped it off with some field goals. Again, in a close game when the defense is reeling, every point counts, and got it down there and had a turnover down deep, that puts us behind as well. So, but the bottom line is they played better than us. We did not play clean enough to win. We know that going into this game that you're going to be put under some pressure and on the perimeter, and they finished off some big runs, and I thought that was the difference. Give them credit. I think they're a big physical team, and Dobbs is a real talent, and he's been around for a long time and really made some quality runs. Part of the, again, I want to give them credit first, and him in particular, and their team and their coaching staff, but also I think it gets down to some of it with us. The aggravating piece is we have to do the things we're capable of doing, and that gets back to the things I touched on early in the year, and some of that reared its ugly head today as well, with guys not executing their responsibilities at time. And that's where we have to grow and get better in all sides. Don't want to point any interference, but it's offense, defense, special teams. When we have plays that are there, we have to make them. They're good enough. It's a heck of a football team, and they're coached really well, and they put a lot of stress on you. And that that going into it. But the plays that are there, and we're not making them, it's difficult to win a game like that. And that's where we have to grow and take it to the next step. So there are no questions at that point.
Mark, what wasn't working in the red zone that was obviously working so well in other situations for the offense?
Well, you have to give them credit. Obviously, they're a physical bunch, and as things get tighter, the windows are smaller. We had a pass or two that were that we have to stick in there. There's going to be tight windows, and you have to make some plays. And our guys got to get open, and we got to protect and all the above.
How costly were the injuries that really seemed to pile up for you guys out there?
Definitely hurt. And you know that going into it, that I know they're banged up, but they're physical as heck. They're a big football team, and they're very big, and their skill on offense is big and strong. So I think with Jordan Jones missing basically, I don't know when he went out in the first half, most of the first half, but not having him hurt, with Eli, Eli does some very good things, but to play an entire game for him with all the misdirection and some of that they do, they put you in a real bind, and they put a lot of stress on you, and then they make plays on the perimeter, and it's what they do. It's part of their offense.
Coach Josh Dobbs has accounted for 13 touchdowns in the last 3 games against Kentucky. What's made him so difficult to contain for you guys?
Yeah, he's a very good football player. He's very talented, and he's a big guy that's very elusive. He's deceptive. He has great speed, but he has very good balance and toughness, and I'm glad we don't have to see him anymore. He's a senior, right? Yeah, I know, because he played us all 4 years. Yeah, he's a heck of a player, and that's what I told him afterwards, that that he's a heck of a player, and I congratulate him on a great game, and glad I hope to see him again.
How big a factor was Tennessee's pass rush, especially in the middle stages of the game, if you felt behind?
Yeah, I think that's a key. That's where, as a team, that you have to do the things necessary. The defense has to stop them. We can't give them those runs. We can't let them get out ahead of us, and we have to keep them off balance, because you're correct. In predictable pass, very difficult to block those guys, and that's what makes it hard. I thought our offense did a great job. I mean, again, all of us can do better, but, you know, to put up those kind of numbers is pretty darn good, but it is hard for us when we get off balance. You know, we take shots and we get behind the chains, it's hard to block those guys.
Mark, they had so many second and shorts, I think they only had 3
Yeah.
third down.
That third down was the
Yes.
key. We didn't even get them in third down, you know, so they had too many they making too much hay on first and second down.
Yeah, was there something they were doing on first down that caught you off guard?
They just mix it up and you know, again, they put a lot of stress on you, and we tried many different things, and even when we were playing it straight, they were, you know, getting 5, 6 tough yards, and so that's where we gotta, you know, sturdy up, and then, you know, as we execute some run pressures, you know, at times, you know, when you're running into it and they have certain pullers, it gets to be tough, and then, you know, we had some pressures away from it, we got some stops, but they just, you know, they did a nice job of keeping us off balance, and then, again, there was parts where it gets frustrating because we didn't execute some of the things we have to do, and, so it's all, you know, there's a lot of things that contribute to that kind of yards.
I think they answered each of your scores with a
Yeah.
touchdown immediately after until that last one. Just how
Yeah.
big was that in terms of getting?
No, it's very big, you know, yeah, I mean, we had to get a stop and get off the field, and couldn't do it, and again, there was, you know, very few third downs, and they were making hay on first, second down, and that was frustrating.
It's part of what you were saying as far as being more balanced, even though the run game is so successful when you are kind of down by double digits, you need the pass game to pick up big chunk plays.
Do we? I'm sorry, can you rephrase that?
Is part of that more balance that you're talking about, like even when the run game is successful, the pass game isn't there to pick up that chunk yards to get short scoring.
Again, we have our opportunities, we have our plays, and, you know, part of it is, again, protection with some dynamic pass rushers and talented football team, and we move the ball, but of course, you're always striving for balance.
Mark, you talk about the 2-point conversion play and what might be possibly broken down a little.
We fumbled the ball or missed the reverse. So, we botched the reverse.
How big a momentum change was that Benny's fumble down there, I think when you were down 12 in the third quarter?
And I think it's, you know, it's important for us to stay close, you know, right there. And, you know, I mean, it's obviously painful when you fumble inside the 10.
Mark, why do you think Steven had so much trouble, especially in long stretches of just completing any pass?
I think anytime we get behind the chains, you know, they got some pass rushers that kept them very uncomfortable. And, you know, I think when we get some protection, you know, there's that fine balance right now with us of, again, taking our shots on first, second down, and then if we miss it, we're behind the chains, and that's a tough spot to play. You know, we need to play ahead of the chains, and our strength is in our run game right now, and you know, that's a recipe where that's a team situation where the defense has to play better than they did today, keep it close, run it, you know, and throw it when we have our opportunities, and it's always a combination of things. It's never on just Steven. It's protection, it's catching the ball, it's, you know, taking your shots, all the above.
Mark, have you ever seen a game where you had 400 rushing yards and didn't win?
No. No, not real, you know, not real happy with the other side having so many rush yards as well.
Mark, with the league portion over, you're going for bowl eligibility next week. What do you have to do to get it, and what would it mean for the program?
Well, it meant a great deal, and we have to continue to push forward. Nobody's happy, you know, we have to learn with every opportunity in our preparation in games and big moments in tough environments against very good football teams. You have to get better each and every day, and our team has to bounce back. They will. I think it's very important. We've come a long way, and we're not going to go backwards. We got to continue to push forward. This next week is the next opportunity, and we got to approach it and challenge it the same way we always do. And so we have to find ways, you know, to make plays in big moments and big games. And again, I think our preparation was good. Our players' effort was good. We have to execute the plays that are there for us to execute. We have to execute. And we know you're going to be under stress. We know this is a talented football team. You know, and I know, you know, they're banged up, but so are we. And they came in preseason top 10 for a reason. You know, it's a big physical team.
Mark, on the play in the first half, when you guys had it at the one, going
Pardon me?
in,
When what?
in the first half, when you had it, the 3rd and goal at the one going in, and Green looked like he crashed the play, did you consider going for it from the 2 there on 4th and
I did, that's why we took the delay, but I knew the delay was no issue. I mean, I actually wanted it a little more room. But they told me it was from the 2. So, once I realized it was from the 2, I knew we had to take the points, and, you know, you hope to play better defense and keep it closer, and points are valuable, so.
Got time for one more, anybody? All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay.